What is up, Nerf Nation? I'm Naptown Nerf, and this is my friend Jonathan, and we're going to show off a few of his mods today. All right, Jonathan, so what do we have here today?
Well, we have my two Rayven rough cut master keys that I brought here today. I'm a big fan of the Rayven. I've been using it for a very long time, this guy for almost 2 years. So instead of Strife, I just prefer the Rayven. It's more comfortable for me. Starting off with what this is, it's pretty much just a Rayven, long strike barrel, and then a rough cut mounted underneath. It's pretty simply done. Just a coupe method with bolts, and then you've chopped off the back and the handle of the rough cut. As far as it goes,
and he keeps the trigger here, so it's not like automatic slam fire. So he does use the trigger to fire.
Right. I do want that option. And honestly, I love this setup too because I have really long fingers, so I can actually operate both blasters with one hand. So that's just, to me, it's perfect for that setup.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this blaster here that I have in my hands. You can set that one aside, and we'll kind of go over the paint scheme and all that we need to know about this one internally and whatnot.
I guess starting on the outside, you see the massive doll logo on the side. It's because it's a Borderlands theme. This is a blaster called Ultraviolet, just because the color. And now tying that into the color, this color actually is hot pink pearl. I mean, I don't know how well it shows up here, but it transitions from purple to pink depending on what lighting you have it in.
And it is gorgeous. I really like the paint. It's really shiny and glossy.
The funnest part about this paint is that I did it wrong. It's a pearlescent paint. It needs a pigment backing. And I didn't know that when I painted this. So I applied probably over 40 layers of transparent paint just to make it opaque. So
that probably took some time.
And it was all hand painted, so it's a massive labor of love was this blaster. Pretty much all of it was hand painted, which is it's a little bit crazy because this is a gray base coat. Yeah.
There's no gray showing.
Yes. As far as like the black stuff you do see, that is a gunmetal by Testers. The greens are Sublime Green by Testers. I believe it's an enamel. And then the blues, I did a midnight. Was it a midnight blue? Might have just been a Testers regular gloss blue.
What do we have internally inside them?
Internally, this is probably the most, I guess, simplest of them. The one beautiful feature on the inside is this guy is auto compared to my other one because I wanted to bring something different to the table. So
we have the Hooligan full auto kit inside of here, so pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fun kit. Would recommend. It's a bit of an installation job, but you know, hey,
I think it's a work in progress, but I do think it's a pretty sweet kit and it's very affordable.
Yes, and it's just fun to use. If you have a Rayven, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
That's the key feature as far as internals go. As I said, they're pretty boring because all of the rest is it's a stock Rayven flywheel cage that I just added Hooligan flywheels to. It's got a full rewire to 18 gauge. I have one 21 amp switch and the other one's a 16.
Okay.
So both are excessive for the job. My 3S LiPo on Rhinos, and my LiPo in this guy is right up in here on the inside, running a 3S Turnigy Bolt, 1000 milliamp hour.
And then he does have the charging ports, I believe, running through here.
Yep.
Correct? Yep. There you go.
Yep. So I obviously don't want to disassemble the blaster every time I want to charge it or plug it in.
When I've done that before, it is annoying. So this is the way to go for sure, especially with something you use quite often. So.
Right. And that was the thing that I had to do differently was mainly just make it internal.
Yeah, because when you put that full auto kit in here, there's really not enough room for a good-sized LiPo back there anymore.
Right, you remove all that available real estate.
Because a lot of people like to put the LiPo in the back of the stock there, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was Ultraviolet, I guess.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous blaster. Awesome. So let's look at the other one here. Set this one down.
Yeah. All right, so this guy, this one I had for forever, quite literally my Nerfing career. This is my Destiny-themed Nerf Rayven. It's a Universal Remote.
I love that name.
I named it Universal Remote, A, because Universal Remote is actually a gun in the game, and B, it's my answer for everything. I made this gun to be everything what I wanted. HVZ, Nerf Wars, any super stock event, this is what it has. And it has done everything for me, and that's what I love about it. Starting on the outside, it's right when I was beginning painting. So this is all vinyl dye mainly. So the white on here is white vinyl dye. The black is mainly black vinyl dye, although there is some Testers black.
You kind of paint it over. Cool.
Yeah, and the orange is also a Tester's International Orange, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Dry brushing, obviously lots of it, because I wanted it to look like it had been, I don't know, thrown into a ditch and then slid down a hill. I don't know. Whoever took care of this...
Very battle worn.
Whoever
for sure.
took care of this gun
awesome.
obviously was a little bit of abusive owner. But, I mean... But, that being aside, some of it is actually real wear after 2 years, but it is dry brushed in gunmetal, gloss black, and a color called dirt brown, I believe.
Okay.
It was another Tester's. All of my paints are mainly Tester's variety. I even redid the oranges on them in the International Orange, although they've worn differently. But, yeah, so that's as far
really,
as the
really
externals.
Cool. And internally, this thing is amazing. So why don't you go ahead and tell them what's inside this thing. Yeah.
If you look at them, it looks like a mess. But if you look at through the mess, you will see that this is absolutely insane on the inside, because I went the extra mile on this Rayven and it's not nearly as boring. It is still standard semi-auto because this was before the auto kit, but it does have a Dr. Snicker's Rayven flywheel cage in there. I believe it's Gen 2 because it does fit without any modifications to the shell.
Okay, and
so,
it's number 5?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
So it's beating heart. As far as motor school, I decided I wanted to do something different because that's kind of like how I like to roll mainly, is like to try some new stuff. So I'm running slot car motors in here. They're Hawk 7s. They run at 45,000 RPM, which is about 10,000 over what Rhinos do.
Yeah.
So, and I did, unlike most times when you do up the RPM, since I believe since the Snickers wheels have a more concave nature to them, they provide more grip. So I did see an FPS gain when I did that.
Okay. Cool.
And other than that, I think that's, I mean...
And it's got the normal rewire with the
is
upgraded switch.
Full rewire. It also has a LED circuit on the inside, so it does
that's
light
cool.
up.
It's kind of hard to see here in the daylight, obviously, but it also has a voltmeter inside here.
Right.
He's got it tucked really nicely in here, and I believe where's the switch to that? Is that the jam door?
It's right on your side, actually.
Oh, this one right here, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just push forward and turn it on and off?
Yep, pushing it forward turns it on.
It's not going to turn on right now because we don't have it
plugged in at the
hooked
moment.
up to the LiPo, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, that's where it is, and it's pretty cool.
Right, so
Yeah.
lights on it, basic, simple. You put a mag in, it lights up white on the inside so you can see that and maybe clear jam. At least that was the thought. Voltmeter just as an additional convenience, and because I had a hole there.
And these do remove on both blasters. They're
They're
come
very
off.
stiff.
They're very stiff. I won't remove it, but
I'll get it
I don't.
for you.
There you go. I don't want to break the blaster, but they do remove, so that's very convenient. And then you can run it without that if you want to be, global mobile and whatnot. So I see him running it without that quite often. It's cool to have that ability to have it on and off. Cool. So where can we see your stuff?
I guess my major outlet, as far as like if you wanted to look at what I'm up to or maybe working on, I'm not a big frequent poster, but if you look on Instagram, I'm JohnnyBeGood94 on Instagram.
And that will definitely be linked in the description, so you can check him out there.
Yeah.
He is a regular. I've been to every single Naptown Nerf War since the second one, so that's pretty hardcore dedication there. And I believe he goes to every single Chicago Nerf Wars, right?
As many as I can get to.
So,
like, obviously you have some you can miss, but I really don't miss very often.
Yeah,
I try to get...
he loves Nerf. I don't know too many people that love Nerf more than Jonathan. So
and also, I mean, for anyone who does like go out to games, I mean, I drive 3 hours to Naptown, so like, if you're scared about distance, just make sure you find a good game. Obviously, if you find a game worth going to, just go to it.
Yeah, if you love Nerf, I highly recommend getting out and using your blasters because. It's so much fun, guys. If you don't know what you're missing. I know some people have a hard time getting and finding wars that are near them, but my first one I drove all the way to Atlanta, and that's about an 11-hour drive or something like that. So I don't regret it for a minute.
I drove.
So there you go.
My first one was actually out, just as a random sidetrack, out in the middle of Indianapolis, as well. Believe it or not.
Oh, really?
So I drove another 3.5 hours out to meet 5 people and have a Nerf war.
There you go.
That was it. Like, that was all the people that showed up. And you know what? I had a blast. And it was, and it all just spiraled from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing your stuff. Hopefully we'll get more people's mods on the channel at some point. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership. Smash that like button. Please subscribe. And as always, peace out.
Adios.